Kia ora and welcome to Beer Club. I'm Luke, and today we are drinking Mad Science #2 from Brothers Brewing. You've probably got no idea what day of the week it is. I hope you're having a wonderful Christmas time, and I hope you're going to enjoy drinking this delightful IPA that I've already tried a couple of times. It's a cool beer. It's part of a new series from Brothers. It's their Mad Science series. There's the second one, and it is starring NZH112, which we'll come back to in a little bit. It may have been a while since you've tried a beer from Brothers. It's an interesting story, Brothers, really, about the highs and lows. It was 2012 when they started with their little brew kit in the Cityworks depot, which was a wonderful time. It was so exciting around 2012, 2013 when they first started, and we're doing really small batches. And I remember Brothers opened up as a brewery and a place where you could buy beer to take away, but they also had an on-premise license, so you could sit there and have a beer. But they had no idea how popular it would be. So quite quickly they had to really level up their offering because they were expecting it to just be a bottle shop. But that was not how people wanted to drink beers there. They wanted to sit there and sit in the car park to enjoy that ambience of central downtown Auckland. It was the first sort of place of its kind, really. I mean, it actually wasn't. There were some failed inner city breweries previous to that. There was one down at Britomart, which was really cool, that closed down. It was ahead of its time, but yeah, they really captured the zeitgeist. They were bang on time in 2012. And I remember going there in the early days, and it was part of a purpose-built complex that had places like Best Ugly Bagels and the food truck garage. That was a big thing around that time. It had a TV show and cookbooks, and there was the advertising agencies were based there. And when you had a beer at Brothers and you wanted to use the bathroom, you had to get a key and you had to go inside and you had to go down some stairs, and it was a massive hassle. It was sort of like if you've ever been to a Wetherspoons in England drama. So it didn't really improve much after that, to be honest, because then the toilet was like across the car park from the venue, but still a little bit easier than getting lost inside. And in those early days, I think it's fair to say that drinkers weren't super excited about a lot of the Brothers beer. They were very excited about the wonderful curated selection that they had pouring from their 20 or so taps, and the bottles and the cans in their fridges that were from all over the world. And a lot of that is thanks to my good friend Matt Eats, who used to work with me here at Beer Jack after he left Brothers, and brews beers with me at Small Gods. So yeah, Matt was a venue manager at Brothers, and he was an absolute frother, as he still is, about good beer. So he's the guy to thank behind getting all those wonderful beers. I remember stuff like Rogue and their Voodoo Donut series, those sort of like big pink bottles, and you get all sorts of stuff at Brothers. And then after a few years of that, I think it was 2015, they leveled up and they took over a very large site that's just around the corner from us on the Auckland Beer Mile. That became their mothership. So that's the Mount Eden Brothers Brewery, which is a big operation, and it is a big tap room. And from there, they very rapidly expanded, opening, I think, about 6 other Brothers venues that were just all across Auckland. And they overstretched, and it all fell down and failed about 3 years ago. For various reasons. I don't know exactly the reasons why, beyond just hearsay and chatting to people and looking at the liquidators report, but it was super fast growing, and then all the pieces fell apart, really. The operation wrapped up. They closed all of their venues all around the city. I think there were 6, maybe 7 altogether. Shrunk down, and then were purchased by their current owners. So Brothers is now once again going strong, independently owned, brewing very solid beers, really cool brew team there. And the new owners are it's a company called Casper, which is a people that are importers. So there's a Chinese importing company that for a few years have been importing great New Zealand beer into the Chinese market. So Brothers was one of their brands that they imported alongside breweries like Sawmill and like Liberty. So getting good New Zealand beer into China. And yeah, some of the people behind that business saw an opportunity to buy the brewery at probably a bargain price, which is a very smart business decision to really keep brewing and keep getting the beer supplied into the Chinese market, which was really smart. And it's been interesting. I mentioned at the start, perhaps you haven't had a Brothers beer for a while. I've spoken to quite a few people. I speak to various drinkers and customers that come here to Small Glass Tap Room. So I'm the guy that invented the Auckland Beer Mile, which is a lovely way to celebrate all of the tap rooms and breweries that are along just this part of Mount Eden and Kingsland down into Morningside. It's a whole bunch of great places. But it's kind of a common thing that I hear from people that say, "Oh, yeah, Brothers, it's Chinese owned. I haven't drank the beer in a couple of years," which is interesting. I don't know if there's been sort of misinformation or something. It's Brothers is owned by a New Zealand company. The people that own it are of Chinese origin, in the same way that I'm of English origin. And I don't know if that sort of prejudice would be present if Brothers had been bought by a New Zealand company that is owned by American people or by Irish people. I'm not suggesting that the people that aren't drinking Brothers beer are racist, but it's something to think about. Anyway, we're not getting into that sort of thing in this video. So the most important thing is that Brothers are putting out some decent beers, and they are perhaps overlooked for a variety of reasons. So their brewer, Dylan, is fantastic, a really, really brilliant brewer, and a very unlucky person because he was brewing at Deep Creek, putting out all sorts of award-winning, brilliant beers. Absolutely one of the best brewers in the country that sadly folded while Dylan was brewing there. So at that time he left and got a job brewing at Brothers, who not too long after he joined also went into liquidation. So this is nothing to do with Dylan whatsoever. He is a great brewer. It was nothing to do with the actual ownership of the business. Is pure coincidence, but as I say, one of the unluckier brewers. But fortunately for him, as I say, the brewery got bought out of liquidation, so he's been continuing brewing, putting out some really great stuff. A small brew team there, considering it's a relatively large brew kit. So there was Alessio, a really talented brewer that recently left and moved to New Plymouth, so he's now brewing with the guys at Three Sisters. And there's also Lorenzo, who's another very talented Italian guy who's one of the more self-effacing brewers in the industry. I think he's very he's very self-effacing about his excellent work and the excellent beers that he's putting out there. He's not a classically trained, he's not a master brewer, but clearly he's been putting out some really great beers for years and years, and yeah, under the stewardship of Dylan, that has been flying. So they've done some really cool beers. I think a couple of years ago we had their Au Cacao, which is a cool collaboration with a chocolate company. They have the Artesano collaboration with local coffee roasters. Brings us to this series, so the Mad Science series. Series of IPAs with kind of scary looking artwork that are focusing on experimental and new hops. So the hop in this is NZH 112. So this is from the BRACT program, which is a program from NZ Hops, which is a kind of cooperative of the big New Zealand hop growers. It's a cooperative organisation, and it started about 6 years ago. The business of growing hops is all about developing new varieties. That's how you make your money. I suppose it's similar in a way to something like the medical industry where you develop a new drug and that's how you get rich. So there are absolute superstar New Zealand hops. So it probably was around 15 years ago, and it all kicked off with Nelson Sauvin, which is such an incredible hop. It's so unique, it's so delicious. There's nothing else like it in the world, and still Nelson Sauvin is hugely in demand across the whole world by brewers. It is just simply magnificent as a feat of agriculture, of science, of growing. It's a wonderful thing to have come from our little country, and then from there, other brilliant and very unique varieties. So things like Riwaka, like Motueka. We've just got these world-class and world-beating hops that are being grown right here in our backyard, and especially around the Nelson area. But these days also there's cool independent hop growers in Southland. So right down around Queenstown, there's like Garston Hops. I think they're the most southerly farm, but there's hop farms in Northland as well. And yeah, hops, they're all about terroir and a sense of place. And if you get some Riwaka from one farm, it will taste different to a different farm and batch by batch. And it's a really cool thing every season that the brewers go and select their plots. So they go and choose the hops from specific plots. And so the BRAC program is all about developing these new varietals and breeding new varietals of hops that have different characteristics. And they've been bred for aroma, flavour, bitterness. And then, of course, there's the things that are important for an agricultural product, like what is the yield like, and what is their robustness like, and what is their ability to survive frost or attacks by aphids, etc. So all these things come into it. So there are dozens and dozens of different seedlings and things being propagated that are just happening all the time for this big hop industry. And there have been new experimental varieties that are made in really small batches, just like, literally a few acres. And they get harvested and packaged up and sent to a select few breweries around New Zealand, but also internationally, which is really cool that brewers can try these hops and give feedback. So the idea of the BRAC program is to create the new superstar hops. So it's been over 6 years. There are only 2 varieties that have become superstars and gone into production and got names so far. So that is Nectaron and Superdelic. So of all the ones that have come out, it's a low hit rate, and that's the entire point of it. That there'll only be maybe 5% of them will ever go into production, and then they get big backing, and they get a whole branding thing, and they get their imagery and naming, and so it's cool for us as drinkers that live locally to all these hop farms, that we get to try these beers and give feedback on them. So we're kind of the test market, really, as to whether they'll go into production or not. So this one, NZH112, is people talk about key lime pie. I haven't really had key lime pie. I imagine it tastes limey. So that is what I'm getting from this from the hop in this beer. It is pretty lime forward. And I'm also getting kind of like, I've been eating panettone today. So I'm getting like dried fruit character in there, sort of like candied orange sort of notes in there. It's a really cool hop. It's with, I think they said on the can, there's a little Motueka in here as well. But fair enough, Motueka is fantastic. So it would be good to be trying it as just a single hop beer. But often hop varieties don't do everything themselves. You need the bittering and the aroma and everything else. So who knows if this will become the next Riwaka. Probably not, because only less than 5% probably of these BRAC's experimental hops do go into production and be grown en masse. But really cool thing, and also a little bit bittersweet and sad in a way that you might discover a beer that's made with one of these BRAC hops and it will never be grown again. So if you are falling in love with this hop, I don't know, maybe you can write a letter to NZ Hops and ask for a few bines that you can grow in your back garden so you can homebrew with it, just in case. It is one of the many ones that get left by the wayside. So yeah, this hop has been used in Sawmill did an IPA with it. I think 8 Wired did a 112 beer. But again, I probably should have looked that up and made some notes before making this video. So cool to try. Happy Boxing Day, everybody. And great work to the Little Brothers Brew team, to Lorenzo, to Dylan. Thank you for making some cool beers. Excited that this new series is underway. There's been a couple that have come out from Mad Science so far. And I love a good series. It's good that brewers have a bit of a focus, bit of clarity, and can just keep bashing out beers with a kind of one track mind, but changing one thing every time. Anyway, enough from me. Cheers. See you next time.